Alright, so before I begin this episode, let's actually look up how to pronounce a word that I've been mispronouncing for, the entire Umineko Let's Read series I've been doing so far. I think I've also been mispronouncing this in my course party videos because this actually pops up in both of these games, so here we go. Grimoire. Grimoire. Oh my god. Grimoire. It's Grimoire. Oh my god, I feel like an idiot. Alright, here we go.
誰か。失礼いたします。昼食をお持ちいたしました。入れ。失礼いたします。
After receiving approval, Kanon entered the VIP room, pushing the lunch serving cart. The servants called this room the Witch's VIP room. That was because they had been strictly ordered by Kenzo to always keep it clean so that it could be used at any time. And yet, guests were never allowed into this room, no matter who they were. That's why, at some point, the servants had started calling it the Witch's VIP room. Supposed to be set aside only to welcome the special person Kenzo was waiting for, the witch from that portrait. And today, Kanon learned that this was entirely correct. When he entered the room, the witch with golden hair was gazing out the window. Outside, the rain had already started to gather strength. As she looked out at the beautiful rose garden, which had taken several days' work to make ready for today, and saw the winds and rain ravage it. Was she lost in some sentimental feelings? Kanon was not able to infer anything more from her back that faced them.
お食事の用意をさせていただきます。ベアトリーチェ様。
So, Kanon went all out of his way to call out the witch's name, because he wanted to make her turn around. Because he wanted to know. He wanted to know whether the witch who had tempted him and Shannon in the past really had appeared again. When he did, the witch whose name had been called kept her back to him, and laughed. Laughed in a subdued voice. Kanon was startled. It was almost as though she had read his mind, and knew that he had called to her out of a desire to make her turn around.
良い匂いだな。どうやらクラウスは良い料理人を入れたと見える。
はい。近年入ったゴーダという料理人です。
料理の腕が良きことは何にも勝るものよ。美食は人の世で生きる快楽の山中をなす。千年を飽きぬにはこれを欠かさぬが秘訣よ。
Kanon and the witch's eyes met, and she grinned. There could be no doubt. Not even the slightest. This was, without a doubt, the witch from that day, Beatrice. The witch that was once visible only to him and Shannon now finally held a form, and had arrived opening through the entrance hall as a guest.
Beatrice. 様。
Organ short, 600 million in C minor. I kind of interrupted you, Beatrice, I'm sorry.
Kanon. Kanon.
お久しぶりでございます。
Kanon tried not to forget a modicum of courtesy towards the guests. But dark clouds had begun to enshroud his heart because of the visit of this suspicious witch. And on the day of the family conference at that.
何をしに現れたのかと気が気でならぬと見える。そうであろう。
Kanon didn't force himself to answer. This witch probably reads minds. So, it would be pointless to go to all the trouble of saying it out loud. Of course, even that rebellious spirit of his would be read. So, the witch snickered at Kanon's childish resistance.
金蔵との最後の約束を果たしに来た。
親方様との最後の約束。
わらわは金蔵に山をなす黄金を貸し付けた。それを金蔵が放棄するとき、わらわは利子をつけて返却を受けることになっておる。今宵それをもらい受けに来た。
僕には何の話か分かりません。
However, anxiety began to gather in his heart. This witch never had anything good to say.
違いない。魔女の話にろくなものはないぞ。そなたは正しい。されど魔女とハサミは使いようだ。ソロモン王のように偉業を成し遂げる者も時にはおる。最も多くの場合は童話が語るようにろくな目には合わんがな。しかし金蔵も食えぬ。わらわの利子の取り立てすらも自らの儀式に取り込みおった。わらわをも超えるとてつもない大魔術師か。さもなければ狂気に取りつかれたただの知れ者か。面白い。実に面白い。
Kanon couldn't guess what the witch was muttering and laughing about. All he knew was that anything this witch deemed worthy of laughter must have the exact opposite meaning to the rest of them. And rising to the back of his mind were the horrifying words the witch had spat at him in the past. Did you think I would lend them that power without any compensation? I'll lend a hand in love. And my compensation shall be one ticket to watch the cruel fate that the two of them will eventually meet. Even after 1,000 years, no better show exists! Oh, that was a good transition. That was a really good transition. I like that.
まさかお前は
懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川。黄金鏡を目指す者よ、これを下りて鍵を探せ。
The witch suddenly began to recite a bizarre poem. It was something he remembered hearing.
それはまさか魔女の碑文。
There was no doubt. It was the epitaph accompanying the portrait of the witch that had been hung by Kenzo. The relatives imagined that it almost certainly pointed to the location of the hidden gold, but no one knew what it meant. The witch had suddenly begun reciting that epitaph at that store.
Kanon, 家具である貴様なら 金蔵から聞いていよう。すべてを黄金鏡へ返す日がやってきたのだ。喜ぶがいい。お前の恥辱にまみれた家具の日々がようやく終わる時がやってきたのだ。お前はそれをずっと望んできたはず。自らに存在価値を持たぬ家具にとってただ存在するだけの日々は苦痛に他ならない。魂ある者にとってうつしおは固執すべきものだが、亡き者にとってうつしおは苦害でしかないからのう。
Complicated expressions flitted. I'm gonna repeat that. Complicated expressions flitted across Kanon's face. It was the day of release that he had been looking forward to. However, the coming of this day had been mercilessly sudden, and the hateful tone of the witch, who had proclaimed this day of rest, made it somehow difficult to accept. Kanon wasn't even able to decide what emotion he should feel.
なぜに喜ばぬ？それともうつしおに何かの未練があるというのか？家具の分際で。
Okay, I want to say this one thing about furniture. Are they people being trained to think of themselves as lesser people? Or are they actually magical things created by Beatrice? But that doesn't make sense because Shannon and Kanon came from the gospel home, unless they became furniture through some weird, mage magic that Kenzo did to them. I'm still on the thought of Kanon and Shannon are still humans, but they've been psychologically trained into thinking they're less than humans, and into thinking they're just like furniture. Or we're getting something like Beauty and the Beast, and at the end of Umineko, they will turn into a sofa. Honestly, I don't think I can take this game seriously ever again if that did happen. I don't think I can take this game seriously if they fucking become sofas in episode 8.
未練などない。僕は家具だから。
貴様は実に模範的な家具だな。よいよい。しかし、何の未練もないとはつくづく面白みのない。
未練こそがお前の快楽だというのか。
その通り。1000年も生きると大抵の魔女は生き飽きる。わらわは退屈から逃れるために人間たちの運命にブランデーや果実を練り込みケーキのように焼き上げるのだ。
Damn. Hopefully your metaphor, doesn't actually happen. Honestly, I don't know what to believe because you are a chaotic witch, Beatrice.
オーブンの中で苛烈な運命に踊る人間たちのなんと面白きこと。
And also, her love of people's, despair, her love of people's despair works to my theory of Beatrice became real through the amalgamation of everyone's wanting to run away from their problems. Beatrice came into existence because they're all trying to run away. Beatrice was born through everyone's despair, which is why she loves despair and lives for it, because that's the way she stays alive.
わらわはこの方面にかけてはちと知られていてな。わらわの料理の腕を見に時には遠方から珍客が見物に来ることすらあるくらいよ。
I wonder who that could be.
言っても家具ごときには理解できぬか。
Kanon wasn't able to understand what the witch was saying. However, he realized well enough that this was a terrifying being who treated the fates of humans as a show, and was getting enjoyment out of doing them some kind of harm. However, furniture had no soul of life, much less a fate. Pitiful furniture did nothing but serve until the day they would be released from this world. To furniture like that, the witch, who had come to release them from everything, was also a being overflowing with mercy. Even though the day that Kanon had been waiting impatiently for had come, he was unable to readily accept it, and this greatly bewildered him. What was that? The face of Shannon, the person he loved as a sister, rose to his mind. And for some reason, Jessica's face did too. He's feeding the witch! Kanon bit his lower lip painfully. Thinking of Jessica was not permitted for furniture. He had been aware of that, and he found fault with Shannon's relationship. So how could he remember Jessica at a time like this? He felt a little ashamed by how weak he was. And to forget about Jessica, he turned his thoughts to Shannon. Shannon is also furniture. On the day everything returns to nothing, there is no reason she shouldn't be happy. But Shannon, through her relationship with George, had come to know an emotion that shouldn't be known by furniture. Even though she wasn't qualified to be bound with him, she was still wallowing in a dream that she wasn't permitted to have. Could Shannon accept something like this now with open arms? Impossible. Shannon would have lingering regrets. That would probably become a great source of pain and torture for Shannon. And those regrets had been planted by none other than this witch. Why? Just because that would be more interesting?
シャノンは待ちわびていたはずの日に知ってはならない感情を持ち、とても辛い思いを強いられるだろう。僕たち家具を解放する日を手土産に訪れてくれたあなたに感謝する。そしてシャノンにその日を受け入れがたくしたお前を憎む。
お前もシャノン同様に未練に苦しませてやりたかったぞ。しかしお前は愚直に家具であり続け、わらわに籠絡されることもなかった。しかしシャノンを慕いすぎたようだな。シャノンの未練がそなたの未練となる。それはわらわへの憎悪へと変わるのか？わらわを殺したくば殺してみるがよい。
Whoa. Whoa. I hear that sound effect in the background. Holy shit. It's an off-tune clock. Oh god! I don't like that. Wait, can I only hear from one ear? Okay, let's try this. No, I can hear it in both ears. Okay, they're not doing that effect. Because for some reason I feel like I'm hearing it more in my right ear than my left ear, but no, I'm hearing it in both ears. But still, that would be cool if I only heard that in my one ear, but I still like the sound effect because it's still really, really creepy. Don't get me wrong, this sound effect is fucking creepy, but I love it because of how creepy it is.
金蔵の家具ならばその程度の力は持っていよう。しかしわらわを殺せば 家具どもに安息の日は永遠に訪れぬぞ。そなたにそれが耐えられるのか？わらわによる解放を本当に拒むことができるのか？ひざまずけ。
何を？
ひざまずき、わらわの靴に口づけをするがよい。さもなくばわらわはこの場を立ち去ろうぞ。帰りて永遠に姿を現さぬ。のう、カノン、そなたはそれに耐えられるのか？黄金鏡の扉が開かれれば、そなたの苦難に満ちた家具の生は終わろう。望むならば人間としての生を与えてもよい。さすればもはやジェシカとは対等。貴様も知りたいはずだ、恋の味が。隠そうとも知っておるぞ。甘き恋の沼にて溺れるシャノンを見て、そなたは羨ましがっている。恋の味を知りたくてうずうずしておるのよ。
やめろ、やめろ。僕を再び籠絡するつもりか。僕はお前を楽しませるためのおもちゃになり果てたりしない。
ほう。ならばシャノンで満足するとしよう。まいた種はそなただけではないのでな。時には実を結ばぬ果実もある。鍵を手にせし者は以下に従いて黄金鏡へ旅立つべし。第一の番に鍵の選びし6人を生贄に捧げよ。第二の番に残されし者は寄り添う2人を引き裂け。
The witch recited the epitaph again. It was so sudden, and diverged so strongly from the current topic. However, her challenging smile made it seem almost as though she were using that epitaph as a threat to Kanon.
わからぬか。
Oh, golden sneer.
この非分の儀式を成し遂げるには、第二の番に寄り添う2人を生贄に捧げねばならぬ。寄り添う2人は誰でもよい。夫婦でもよいし、恋人同士でもよい。誰を選ぶかは儀式のルールにのっとり、わらわが気まぐれに決めてよいことになっている。今のシャノンならこれほどふさわしい第二の番の生贄もないとは思わぬか。
So, did you just confirm that every chapter, the people who get killed at the beginning are different? Beatrice, did you just say that? Did you just tell us that the people who get killed at the beginning changes each time? Oh my god.
卑劣な。
Kanon learned, then, he had thought that he had given up everything, and lived until today as furniture, like furniture should. But in reality, that wasn't true. He had loved Shannon too dearly, and so, when Shannon was in pain, Kanon shared in that. If only Shannon had continued to exist as furniture, living indifferently like Kanon, without any attachments to this world, they wouldn't have had to be in so much pain. The witch planned to toy with Shannon, who had learned the taste of love, no. Who she had taught the taste of love, had she killed her. She would not invite her to the Golden Land as a merciful release. but would make her a sacrifice for that evil ritual after dealing her the limits of torture and pain. And this witch would probably actually make Shannon meet this horrible fate for no other reason than it would be interesting for her. Furthermore, she was threatening to do that so that she could make Kanon, who hadn't submitted to the witch even once until now, finally surrender. It was that simple. In the end, though he had tried resisting the witch to avoid pleasing her, he had only made things interesting for her. After all, he was furniture. No, a toy. They were nothing but toys meant only to distract her from her boredom.
どうするカノン。ひざまずけばシャノンを生贄に選ぶことを控えんこともないぞ。
Damn. But wait, if he does kneel, she's not gonna choose Shannon as a sacrifice. She's gonna choose Kanon and Jessica as sacrifices. Or maybe not. Maybe not. That might be wrong. Or this might be a... I don't know, actually. Don't know just yet what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna stay silent real quick because I'm not 100% sure what's happening. But if my head thought's correct, once Kanon kneels, yes, he is ensuring Shen wouldn't be killed on the second Twilight. But Beatrice does state she does ensure that she gets something out of every deal she makes. And if he kneels, Shannon will be saved. But Kanon will have to do a side of a deal for Beatrice. And I don't think she's going to end right at kneeling to her. That could be the price that Kanon's going to have to pay. Maybe that's going to be the only price. But it could also mean Kanon is going to be taking Shannon's place in the second Twilight, and she's also going to yeet Jessica because Kanon still has feelings for Jessica. I see you, Beatrice. I can look into your eyes right fucking now, and I know what you're thinking. I can read you.
お前のような玩具を一度屈服させてみたかった。
Without even a fragment of elegance, the witch sneered at Kanon with a vulgar laugh. Yes, even before Kanon had made up his mind, she had seen through to his surrender. Kanon got down on one knee and chose to genuflect before the witch. He didn't care what happened to himself. However, just the fact that Shannon, who during his days as furniture had given him his only reason to live, was being toyed with. That alone was something that he couldn't overlook. Therefore, something like kissing the shoes of the witch was an easy oath for Kanon to make. At the time that his quivering lips actually touched the witch's shoe, Beatrice, after allowing a look of ecstasy to rise up to her face, let out an ear-splitting laugh. In that moment, interesting. In that moment, the witch, who had tired of 1,000 years of life, was completely filled with the evil emotion that was her only raison d'etre. Damn. From first impression, I'm really liking Beatrice as a villain. I'm really liking her as a villain. I'm gonna say that now. She's a really good villain. Lunch had ended, and the relatives had moved to the parlor. Rosa had bought a high-class brand of black tea from a famous store in Ginza. That had been served, and inside the parlor was filled with a very nice aroma. Since the children were together with the adults were, at least on the surface, interacting like relatives, talking peacefully about recent events and how their children were growing up. It had started raining outside, so the children were unable to go out, and had no choice but to sit here like this, watching TV. Like a true TV kid, Maria was watching vapid daytime programs one after another without getting bored, and was giggling all to herself. It seemed that Battler had joined in at first, deepening his relationship with Maria. But he had gotten up early that morning, and so was gradually attacked by waves of drowsiness.
おや、大きなあくびだね。
There's been something in my eye for this entire video, and I've been trying to get it out, but I don't know what the hell it is. Probably a piece of my hair is bugging my eye. Like, my hair is at its longest it's ever been, and I don't plan on getting it cut anytime soon. So yeah, I might need to start, pushing my hair back when I record so that it doesn't bother my eye.
朝がずいぶん早かったんじゃないのかい？
ま、そんなとこだよ。緊張が解けて、雨の音を聞いてるうちに眠くなってきちまった。
緊張あんだけ態度でかそうにしてて緊張なんてしてたのかよ。
一応俺なりにはな。
Battler gave a great yawn once again, and slowly lay down on the sofa. He really did look tired. George and the others had started talking to him, taking his yawns as a sign of boredom. But when they realized that he was really sleepy, they decided to let him be.
おやおや、食事の後にすぐ横になるとサバになると申しますよ。
冗談よせやい。合田さん、今夜は子牛のステーキだって言ってたぜ。サバのステーキになっちまう。
熊沢さん、こいつ本当に眠いらしい。毛布を持ってきてあげてくれないかな。
さあ、どうぞ。
Kumasawa had brought a blanket over from the shelf. The spacious parlor wasn't cold, but the air had gotten a little chilly. So, when the blanket was placed over Battler, he immediately wrapped himself up in it, and curled up like a turtle retreating into a shell.
本当に眠かったんだね。何時かに起きる？起こしてあげるよ。
あ、いや、特に希望は。
Are we about to go into, the other world? Are we about to go into the other world as soon as Battler falls asleep?
なんか用があったら起こしてくれりゃいいし、なんにもねえんならずっと眠らせてくれりゃいいぜ。おやすみ。
マトラン寝ちゃうの？お昼寝？お昼寝？マリアもする？
こらマリア、バトラは眠いんだから放っておいてあげなきゃ。熊沢さん、もう一枚毛布をもらえるかな。
It was doubtful that Maria really wanted to take a nap. She probably just saw Battler wrapped up in a blanket and wanted to do the same. When she received the blanket from Kumasawa, she joyfully wrapped herself up in it and set up camp again in front of the TV.
せっかく6年ぶりにいとこがみんな揃ったってのによ。こいつ、今回の親族会議の主賓だって自覚全然ねえな。
聞こえてるぞ。のんびり昼飯を食って、しかも外は台風で雨。何もすることがねえってことは、つまり俺の出番じゃねえってことさ。
それはどうかな。何も起こらないから何もしないなんて受け身の姿勢じゃ人生は退屈だよ。
違うぜ。そういう意味じゃない。なんつうのかな。こういう時、俺はこう思うことにしてる。出番じゃねえんだよ。こいつがお芝居だったならさ、俺の出番じゃねえってことなんだよ。だったら、舞台袖でおとなしくしてるに限るってわけさ。
自分の人生はいつだって自分が主人公だろ。そんな脇役根性でどうすんだよ。自分から進んで舞台に上がらなきゃ。
そういう意味じゃねえ。今は俺の出番じゃねえって言いたいのさ。悪いな。眠くて思考がめちゃくちゃだ。勘弁してくれ。
確かに眠くてなんだか支離滅裂なことを言ってるね。もうそっとしてあげようよ。
私は聞き捨てならねえぜ。自分の人生はいつだって自分が主人公だよ。ちょっとそのあたり本格的にバトラーと議論したいけどな。
寝ぼけてるだけだよ。深く考えちゃダメさ。
なんかさ、自分は主役になれないから舞台に上がりたくないみたいな根性、なぜだかすっげえうぜえって思って。
With distant eyes, Jessica gazed out the window at the gray rose garden obscured by rain. When she put her forehead up against the glass, it felt as though the pleasantly cool sensation would chase away memories that she didn't want to remember.
まだ君の出番じゃなかったってことなのかい。じゃあいつ君は舞台に上がるんだよ。
Second Twilight? In that case, who is the main character on this stage? Whoa! Oh, here we go! Up to the next world.
もうやりたい放題じゃねえかよ。
Suspicious scent.
なんだこりゃよ。
I'm sorry, but my favorite phrases of words in the English language is "what the shit." That's my favorite phrase of words in the English language. What the shit. I'm not gonna explain a story behind that phrase and where I first heard it this video because it would be too long to explain. But I'm gonna say this now. Of anything in the English language, one of my favorite phrases is "what the shit."
めちゃくちゃじゃねえか。
そなたがわらわを否定する根拠とする18人だの19人だのという理論が実に滑稽だったのでな。指し手を変えてみたまでよ。そなたがわらわを否定する最大の根拠は単にわらわが駒としてゲーム盤に並ばなかったからというだけのこと。ならばこうしてクイーンを先に指せばいいだけの話ではないか。初手にてクイーンに道を開けるはチェスの王道ではないか。
ふざけやがって。こんなの認められるわけねえじゃねえかよ。魔女が歩いて玄関からやってきただと。ふざけるじゃね
え。なんだなんだ。前回のゲームではそなたに散々自由に手を進めさせたぞ。こたびはわらわがそなたの手に合わせて駒を動かしたに過ぎん。初手にてもう降参か。
くそったれ。ふざ 負けるな。誰が降参なんかするかってんだ。上等な差し手だぜ。好きに進めればいいじゃねえか。なるほどな。まだまだお前の手番は終わってないってわけだ。好きに手を進めりゃいい。今のうちに十分な陣形を築いとく。俺が必ずしのぐ。必ず詰める。言い訳なんてされたくねえ。存分に来やがるってんだ。まだまだこの程度じゃ魔女なんて認められるわけがねえぜ。そうさ、さっきマリアのお菓子を魔法で直したように見えたが、実は同じお菓子をもう一つ懐に忍ばせていて、芝居がかった方法ですり替えて、あたかも魔法で直したみたいに見せただけかもしれない。
Very convenient, Valor. That's like a very convenient explanation.
ああ、そうさ、そうに決まってる。ダメだぜ、全然ダメだぜ。
ほほう。ローザは菓子が腸に散る瞬間を見たぞ。
知らねえよ。そんなのは幻覚か手品か。さもなきゃ見間違いだろ。大した問題じゃねえ。
説明のつかぬ部分はさまつと切り捨てたか。なるほど、それがそなたの受け手であるな。墓穴を掘ったぞ、後ろ宮バトラー。お前の手番はまだ先だぞ。もうしばらくわらわの手番を進めさせてもらう。まだまだこれからだぞ、魔女の手番は。
Nice name drop there. Nice name drop. When they started hearing Valor snores, the relatives went their separate ways, leaving the parlor and letting Valor sleep in silence. Even though it had been so lively in the parlor with so many people gathered there, when all of them scattered at once and were sucked into the vast mansion, it created an eerie silence with no sound except for that of the rain.
いや、そんな人間には一度も会ったことはないぜ、兄貴は。
会ったことなんてないわ。キリエさん、本当なの？
私もちょっと玄関ホールに出た時に挨拶をしただけです。
Hell's Halls.
20歳ちょっとくらいに見えたわ。私は名乗ったんだけど彼女は名乗らなかった。源氏さんに案内されて2階へ登っていくのを見たの。
なら源氏さんを見つけて直接話を聞いた方が早いやろ。しかし妙な雲行きになってきよったな。
The mystery woman had spoken to Kyrie. Without naming herself, she had sneered that Kyrie already had a vague idea of who she was. And the person that brought to mind was her lookalike, the Witch of the Portrait. That's a cool image. I really like that image of Beatrice. That's a really cool image.
そいつは自分が肖像画の魔女様だとそう言いたいってのかよ。
私はそういう意味で笑ったんだろうと理解したわ。私とは初対面でも私があなたの5歳だと知っているような口ぶりだった。
姉貴、本当にそんな奴は知らないんだね。
くどいわよ。そんな金髪女、
この屋敷に出入りしたところなんて見たこともない。
そんなようなことはどうでもええで。問題はその女が自分はベアトリーチェだと名乗り、お父さんの財産管理人を名乗った場合の方や。
あるいは愛人の娘を自称して遺産の分配を要求するつもりかしら。いずれにせよとんでもないジョーカーが紛れ込んだものね。
A new challenger has entered.
兄さんが呼んだの？それともお父様が？
まずいな。俺たちは兄貴をうまく言いくるめりゃなんとかできるものと思ってきた。しかしこれじゃ話が振り出しに戻っちまう。
あなたが私の知らないところでどんな策謀を巡らしてたのか知らないけれど。
Wait a second, wait. Did he not tell her about his plan with Ava and Hideyoshi and Rosa? Not tell Kyrie?
どうも少しは対策を立てる時間を得られたみたいね。
Did Kyrie not know what they were fucking planning this whole time? Oh my god!
ああ、その金髪姉ちゃんが晩飯の席で突然現れて俺らの度肝を抜くのに比べたら、今からわずかの時間でも対策を協議できる方がマシだ。
何しに現れたか分からへん以上、打てる対策もかけられとるで。向こうの狙いは何なんや。
決まってるでしょ。お父様の遺産の正当な後継者だと言い張るためよ。お父様は未だにベアトリーチェの虜なのよ。その娘がいたなら全財産を譲りたいと言い出すはずだわ。妙な遺言状でも突きつけてくるかもしれない。そりゃ裁判沙汰にすれば半分の4分の1は主張できるかもしれないけど、多分決着するまで遺産分割はできなくなるわよ。
And they needed money now.
それは困る。私もルドルフももちろんローザもね。
俺たちはそれぞれの都合で早急にまとまった金がいる。俺たち最大のウィークポイントってわけだ。なら狙いは何だ。キリエ、読めるか。
初耳なんだけれど、私たちには急ぎまとまったお金が必要だという前提があるのね。
Dude, you might want to start telling your wife things. A lot of things you need to tell her, dude.
キリエさん、男の商売には攻めの時にこそ軍資金がいるようになることもあるんや。それを分かっていな。
なあにルドルフ、キリエさんには話してなかったの？
すまん、隠してたわけじゃないんだ。実はちょいとした。
いいわ。
Oh, I thought she was gonna get mad.
あなたが私に話す必要がないと判断した話なんだから、それをこの場では追求しない。
Well, no, she is mad. Yeah, she is mad. She is mad at him for not saying anything, but seems like she's not gonna show her anger in front of Ava and Hideyoshi, but I think she's mad.
それよりキュームは黄金の魔女様の狙いを探ることなんでしょ。
ああ、俺たちの話を整理した上で敵の撃ってくる手が見えるか。
I like how everyone's relying on the smartest character of the adult cast. I like that. Rudolph had a certain measure of trust in Kyrie's unique thinking technique, chessboard thinking. Of course, it didn't give him any more peace of mind than fortune telling. But every time Rudolph was concocting some important strategy, he would give a great deal of thought to Kyrie's advice. For a while, Kyrie pressed a finger against her forehead, considering.
今日の今日まで彼女が訪れることが伏せられていた以上、
Mind.
彼女は私たちに何らかのサプライズを与える目的があった。それが財産なのか、親族としての認知なのかは分かりかねるわ。でも今日の今日まで訪れることを伏せていたということは、事前に知らせることで対応を打たれたくなかったと言えるかもしれない。ということは、彼女の目的は対応を打たれると不利になるものらしい。わかる？
なるほどな。例えば親父が以前に書かせた遺言状そのものだとか、血縁の認知とそれを証明できるものだとか、そういうものを持ってきたと仮定して、それが揺るぎないもので盤石な証拠だというなら、むしろそれは予告するはずだろうよ。
そうね。むしろ疑う立場にある私たちに弁護士でも鑑定士でも連れてこさせて、グーの音も出ないくらいに事実を突きつけるべきなのよ。それができるならね。
つまり奇襲狙いという時点で、敵は真正面からの正攻法では勝てんちゅうことを意味するわけやな。道理や。絶対勝てる切り札は堂々と切るに限るで。回りくどい切り方はむしろ切り札を曇らせるもんや。
結論から言うと、皆さんがご就寝の遺産問題に直接もしくは間接的に絡む相当のサプライズが突きつけられると予想されるわね。おそらく向こうはそのインパクトだけでこちらを圧倒できるつもりでいる。しかしその何かは相当のインパクトを伴いながらも絶対ではない。
つまりそこがこちらのつけ込む余地というわけね。
あんたはほんま頭の切れるお人や。これだけでも分かればだいぶ心強いで。つまり相手のペースに飲み込まれるなっちゅうことやな。
結局のところ非常にシンプルな結論よ。相手が何を切り出そうとも焦らず冷静に対応する。交渉術の初歩の初歩じゃない。これじゃあ相手の思考を読めたとはとても言えないわ。
いいや、相変わらずなかなかのもんだぜ。こちらに攻める余地があると分かれば余裕も変わってくるってもんだ。
わからないのは彼女とクラウス兄さんの関係ね。クラウス兄さんにとってもサプライズなのか、それとも彼女を呼んだのは他でもないクラウス兄さん自身なのか。もし後者だったなら随分と厄介なことになるかもしれないわよ。
そうね。謎の女を親族会議の当日にこっそり呼びつける。いやらしいセンスがどことなく兄さんっぽい感じもする。
兄貴、こうしよう。女の正体がはっきりと証明できない限り、俺らはその女のいかなる身分も認めない。
それが最善ね。現に桐江さんに対して名乗ってすらいない。正体不明の女の発言で私たちの会員がかき回されちゃたまらないわ。
血縁証明でも示してみせるかもしれんで。お父さんの血が流れてることが例えば母子手帳でも示されたらどうにもならん。
証明物なんかいくらでも偽装を疑える。仮にそれが本物だったとしても、当人が本人だと証明するには病院沙汰にしなきゃならん。少なくとも今のロッケン島でそれを証明することは不可能だ。
その通りね。つまりこういうことよ。今の六軒島では何が示されても真実だと受け入れることはできない。台風が去ってしかるべき場所で証明してみせるまで何も信じられないってことよ。
そういうので上げ足を取りまくるのは姉貴の得意技だな。任せるぜ。
バカ言ってんじゃないわよ。あんたも協力するのよ。私たちにはお金がいる。それも急ぎまとまった額が。私たちは運命共同体よ。こんなところでひょっこり現れた謎の女に遺産のあてをぶち壊されてたまるもんですか。
It was only at a time like this that Rudolph and Ava united as siblings, sickened by the idea that their own inheritance might be snatched away by an outsider. Kyrie noticed how indomitable they looked, shook her head slightly, and gave a small sigh as she looked out the window. Outside, there was still a strong rain falling, and everything was gray, having lost all vibrance. It felt like the lush garden that the sun had shone on earlier had never existed. For some reason, the words Ava had just said just a short while ago kept repeating in Kyrie's head. It boils down to this. No matter what is shown to us now in Rokkenjima, it can't be accepted as truth. There was an odd nuance to those words. Nuance to those words. Right now, this island was closed off by the typhoon and isolated. There was no official institutions here, and no hospital. Wow. I really slurred my words on that one. Let me, clear out my throat. Right now, this island was closed off by the typhoon and isolated. There were no official institutions here, and no hospital. So, no matter what institution had issued what kind of documentation on this island, one could claim that it was all fiction. It was impossible to prove that something was the truth. They were cut off from the outside world, and all truths proven in the outside world would be called fiction. So that means that now, on this Rokkenjima, there was nothing that was truthful. There we are. Oh, that's a short hair. Ah, cat hair! Christy! So, did that mean that now, on this Rokkenjima, there was nothing that was truthful? That everything would be controlled by fiction? It almost gave the illusion that separate from the human world made from the truth was another world called fiction, in which they had been shut away. Ah! Kyrie remembered what that woman had looked like one more time. And she remembered the woman's figure and the witch of the portrait. On this island, which had been isolated from the world of humans and shut away in the world of non-humans, a non-human being had visited. No matter what she did, Kyrie couldn't help think of the smile that appeared on that woman's face as everything other than ominous. Anything, oh my god! No matter what she did, Kyrie couldn't help think of the smile that had appeared on that woman's face as anything other than ominous. I see why I messed up the slide 3 times. It should be Kyrie couldn't help but think of the smile that had appeared on that woman's face as anything other than ominous. They forgot the but in that sentence. Okay, I'm not gonna be that person right now, but that is very annoying. In trying to understand that ominous smile, It feels like my chessboard thinking mistook a vital premise. That's right. That smile seemed that of something non-human looking down on me. I had reason based on the assumption that our opponent was a human, like us. However, just like this island now, she may be a being that is not human, and human values may not apply to her. In that case, all reasoning is useless. For what reason was the witch invited here today? Only one thing is certain. Right at this very moment, she is staying somewhere in this vast mansion. She indeed is. In a VIP guest room. I'm gonna adjust the camera. There we go.
Maria, 今日のお昼にお外で私たち会ったわよね。女の人に。あれは誰？
おお、何度も言ってる。ベアトリーチェ。
マリアは以前にベアトリーチェと会ったことがあるの？
おお、毎年会ってる。
Stupefaction.
毎年？このロッケン島のお屋敷で？
おお。
じゃわからないでしょ。そうなの？いつから会ってるの？何年前から？
わかんない。
わからない？どうして？去年？一昨年？
もっと前から。
Rosa was aghast. Only the Ushiyamiya mansion existed on this island. So there was no way that there were any humans other than themselves on this island. And yet, Maria said that she had been meeting with that suspicious woman every year during the family conference. If what Maria said was the truth, then that strange woman called Beatrice had been at the family conference every year. That's insane. Is she saying that some eerie woman was at the family conference every year, and none of us ever noticed it? Even though Rosa had just met her herself a couple hours ago in the Rose Garden, she was overcome with a strange emotion which told her not to accept her existence. What in the world did I meet with earlier today? Okay, 1 second. Let me get back to the... Okay, I don't know what voice to do it for Rosa, so I might just use my regular voice. I think I got one. What in the world did I meet with earlier today? One more time. What in the world did I meet with earlier today in the Rose Garden, as the typhoon grew close and the winds blew strong?
Maria, あなたは毎年彼女と会ってると言ったわね。会って何をしてるの？
お歌を歌ったり、魔法を習ったり、魔法陣の書き方も習うの。
そう。それはすごいわね。マリアがよく自由帳に落書きじゃない、魔法陣を書いたりしてるわよね。それも彼女に教えてもらったの？
はい。ベアトリーチェにね、お手本書いてもらうの。ほらほら、見て見て。
Maria joyfully fished around in her handbag. Then, she took out a notebook and started opening its pages. Most of the pages were covered with drawings that were literally scribbles. All of them were occult-like things. And while it might sound rude to Maria, who was joyfully flipping through the pages, they were all creepy.
ほらこれ。ベアトリーチェが書
that's a new one. Wait, was that a new one? On each page, Maria opened two. There was another eerie magic circle that had been drawn. Furthermore, at a glance, Rosa realized that Maria hadn't drawn them. The strength of the strokes, the thickness of the lines, how clean the shape was. This by itself wasn't enough to guess the background of the person who had drawn it. But it was enough for Rosa to understand that it was definitely someone older than Maria. Rosa had to accept it now. There really was a person on this Rokkenjima who she hadn't even known existed. And this person had been playing with Maria during the family conference every year.
Maria, その魔女のベアトリーチェはここに住んでいるの？それとも私たちのように島の外に住んでいるの？
おう、ベアトリーチェはロッケン島の魔女だからこの島に住んでる。
じゃあ親族会議のない日にもこの島にいるというのね。
What if there's another house on the island that's like hidden in the trees and some friend of Kenzo's, like a longtime friend of Kenzo's has been living in that house deep into the trees, and that's why he made up the legend of the witch, so that his children would not find the secret house inside Rokkenjima, so that they wouldn't figure out about his mistress Beatrice living there, or her family members being in that mansion. Not mansion, house, hidden in the island. That could explain why Maria is stating, oh, she lives on this island, and it's actually just a relative of the original Beatrice that Kenzo was having an affair with.
Oh.
ふうじゃわからないでしょ。どれよ。
Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. How long has this unknown witch been living on this island? I used to live on this island. I lived on this island, passing the time in the mansion, in the Rose Garden. And even so, I never encountered a witch like that. Never. I think. You think? Well, that's an ominous thing to say.
Mama? どうしたの? Mama?
I was probably getting a little mixed up with my memories from when I was a young girl. Yeah, I'm just gonna use my regular voice because I even forgot what my voice for Rosa was. When I was a young girl, unlike Maria, I was very frightened of witches. So for me, the name Beatrice was a synonym for something frightening. So, it must be that my feeling of fear from my days as a young girl has been revived, because a woman calling herself that has appeared. She couldn't be a witch. She's obviously a human calling herself Beatrice, right? Oh yes. That witch entrusted me with an envelope. What in the world could that be? Rosa pulled that western envelope out of her pocket. It was the western envelope which bore the Ushiyamira crest, which Kenzo used on his personal letters. And it had even been sealed with the red sealing wax by the head's ring, which Kenzo held. Which meant this envelope belonged to the Ushiyamira head. In other words, it was from father. Why was a woman calling herself Beatrice holding it? And why did she give it to me? That's right. I'm sure she said to read this aloud at dinner. What in the world could be written inside? Anxiety grew to Rosa, as if opening this envelope might release some kind of monumental disaster. Yeah, I shall open that most definitely. However, wait, is this the same letter? Is this going to be the same letter or a different one? However, at the same time, a little curiosity sprouted up, causing her to want to find out what was written inside before the other siblings. Using common sense, one could guess that a huge decision somehow related to father's inheritance was probably written inside. Actually, since he had given it to a woman calling herself Beatrice, there was no way that wasn't related. Did this mean that he wanted the inheritance split not between 4, but between 5 including her? I need a large sum of money, and I can't wait long. I do feel like a sinful daughter for discussing the distribution of father's inheritance while he's still alive. However, I'm no longer at a stage where I can afford to keep anything pretty. And I'm not even consulting with Rudolph Nissan and Eva Nissan in order to get some money out across Nissan. With myself in the situation, I can't help but sense something ominous in the appearance of the witch. Wait, is this a timeline where Rosa is not siding with Eva and Rudolph? Are they off on their own with this, actually? Oh, wait, maybe this time Rudolph and Eva are on their own for trying to, discuss things with Klaus. What could be written in here? I'm sure there must be something frightening written. Shall I first read it secretly myself? The witch had requested it be done at the dinner table when everyone was gathered. However, in that case, couldn't she just read it aloud at the dinner table herself? Why did she go to all the trouble of entrusting it to me? Did that mean, basically, that it didn't matter whether I secretly read it beforehand? It would be better to secretly read the contents first. I understand that it would be breaking my promise, but this is no longer the time to keep things pretty. It would probably be good to discuss it with Eva Nissan and Rudolph Nissan, depending on the contents. Nissan and the rest were always good thinkers when it comes to this kind of thing. As I gulped, I put my hand to the red sealing wax. Something suddenly pulled on my sleeve, and I let out a small shriek.
何？マリアなの？驚かせないで。何？おー。
Witch in gold, Symbolo.
ダメ。
Maria was making the same ominous expression Rosa had seen on the witch, sending a tingle up her spine.
ベアトリーチェはママにその手紙は晩餐で読みなさいって言った。魔女の約束は破っちゃダメだよ。違うわよ。ちょっと封筒を見ただけじゃない。約束は守るわよ。ママもいつもマリアに約束は守りなさいって言ってるもんね。ママももちろん約束は守るわよ。
Excuse me while Mama goes to the restroom real quick.
ママはいいか。
Oh no, she's definitely gonna try to find an excuse to read it before the dinner table, or she's actually gonna keep her promise. I don't know what to think.
その笑い方可愛くないからやめなさい。おー。そういえばマリアも封筒をもらったわよね。中にはなんて書いてあったの？開けてない。ベアトリーチェは開ける時が来るまで開けちゃダメって言った。だから大事に持ってる。そうマリアはベアトリーチェの言うことはちゃんと聞くのね。マリアはベアトリーチェの の弟子だからお師匠の言うことはちゃんと聞くの。
そう。
Rosa realized something. Mixed in with Maria's gaze was the light of a person other than Maria. If she broke the rules and opened the envelope here, Beatrice would definitely find out about it. Because Maria was the witch's disciple. Maria communicated with that witch.
ママは約束を守るわ。だから安心するようベアトリーチェに言ってね。うん。伝える。ねえマリア。ベアトリーチェとお話をしたいんだけど、どうすれば会えるのかしら。知らない。ベアトリーチェはとても気まぐれだから、いつも突然姿を現すの。
Like right now, jumps out of the painting.
マリアからは会う方法を知らない。でもね、いつもマリアのことを見てるの。だからマリアが困っていると後できっと助けてくれるの。きっとね、姿を消してマリアの近くに隠れてるんだよ。
その笑いをやめなさいといつも言ってるでしょ。
Rosa reflexively hit Maria on the head. That put a stop to Maria's laughing voice, but it wasn't able to erase the ominous color that had risen to her eyes. Rosa made a pact with herself. She swore that, at least until they left this island, she would not leave Maria alone. She couldn't allow an unknown being to make another direct contact with her daughter anymore. Umineko no Nakukura ni. And that's an end of a chapter, not a midpoint. That's an end of a chapter. 6 o'clock. Or 18 o'clock. Furniture and people. Intriguing.
マリア、戻ってこねえの。
Alright, I'm gonna be ending this episode here. But, I think I said a really wild theory this time. I wish I could see you smile once more, Beatrice!
Okay.